Rangers Journal.
Hello everyone, welcome to your post-match reaction pod to Rangers' 3-1 victory over St Johnstone today at the stadium. Joined by two great guests today. Andrew, first of all, how are you, mate?
I'm not too bad, Billy. I'm not too bad. Thanks for having me on after that enthralling match.
Thank you. Scotty, mate, you doing all right?
Apart from being bored out my nut for 90 minutes, I'm absolutely fine, pal.
I think that's harsh to say 90 minutes, but certainly 45.
Well, 90 including half-time in, so that's what, 105.
Right.
Hey, we won a game. When was the last time we did that? You know, we should be entertained at the minute.
That's true, that's true. I'm certainly not.
Wait, no getting around. It wasn't the greatest match we've ever witnessed, has it been, Andrew?
I don't know. There was little passages of play and some good stuff in the first half. A bit of a subdued atmosphere at the stadium, understandably, especially the position that we're in now. That's always going to be the case. It was a fairly routine win, to be honest, which actually infuriates me because why can't we do that on the road? You know, yeah.
Fair enough. Scotty, what I'll do is I'll put the team up and you can make a comment on what your thoughts were pre-match to what we actually got as a starting 11. I predicted that team in the prediction video. What about yourself?
I can't really criticise. There's a lot of injuries going in defence just now, so defence is literally as you're going to get it. I would probably rather Nsiala keeps his place. I think Leon King, as harsh as it might sound, I think his time's probably up at Rangers. Good to see Raskin back in with Diamandi. Two of them work well together. Danilo in his 10 position, still not convinced. I think he needs to be up front, if I'm being honest, next to Agaman. But then that makes a system change, and it's a whole other pod, doesn't it? Cherny and Hadji are pretty much as you were.
Fair enough, mate. Andrew, do you? That's an interesting point because the manager mentioned before the game that he wanted Danilo and Igaman to be like a front two, so that did suggest a formation change. Is that how you think? Well, I mean, can only go in the first half, really. Is that how you've seen it?
I don't know. It still seemed to be that kind of 4-2-3-1, didn't it? It didn't seem like that kind of formation that we'd had tinkered with and actually started getting really good results from, a couple of months back. But like Scotty says, not 100%. Like Danilo's a good technical footballer, but you kind of want him more in front of goal. I think a top two for now would be definitely something that would work, especially with Eggman's touch and turn and shot. We saw that a few times from him in the game. I think Danilo and Eggman could be very good together. Personally, I think they've got some very good attributes and some slight differences that would kind of complete the strike force, I think, a little bit.
Well, look, we did have a good first half. I was particularly impressed by Igaman again. It just looks like he's full of confidence. It looks like he wants to try things. I mean, that overhead kick, if that had come off, that's goal. One of the best goals I've ever seen at Ibrox, probably, if that goes in. But Scotty, we start the game up pretty much on the front foot. I think the St Johnstone had a little infringement into our box early on in the first half, but it was one-way traffic. Even up to the first goal, it was only going to be us that scored, I think.
Aye, definitely, mate. Definitely. Thought we played well. It was kind of similar 20-25 minutes to what we've seen at Easter Road. And then pretty much after your 25-30 minutes are up, I think that's when I wish a ref would be able to blow for a full-time whistle, Billy, because there's nothing really after that to make you go on the edge of your seat, if you know what I mean. There was nice passages of play. There was not even any control in the mid-play part. But in terms of the first half, it was a good controlled performance, and we got the job done early, thankfully.
Yeah, it's good to get. I mean, that's all the goals. Just looking at the timing of all the goals, basically scored over 9 minutes from the 16th to 20th and 25th. Would you make Eggman's goal first of all, Andrew?
Absolutely fantastic. I was just commenting in the group chat that he kind of had that kind of half chance where the ball came in and he threw a foot at it, and he was unlucky for it not to have gone in. He's just a revelation, isn't he? He doesn't need much. He needs barely a sniff of goal, and he'll get it at least on target, which is something we've been lacking. He's full of confidence at the minute, and it's really good to see. I just hope I know that the board did say we'll keep a hold of him in January, definitely, but he's just such a ray of sunshine in this absolute storm at the minute of all levels of the club, and it's really good to see. And it's good to see him grabbing another goal and being heavily involved in the match as well.
Scotty, we're maybe a bit old to be having Rangers heroes, but certainly for a certain generation, they've not had a lot of heroes in the last wee while. And Igaman is kind of burst onto the scene. He looks the part. He's strong. He's physical. He's what we need. He can finish with both feet in his head. I've got high hopes that we do keep him at least for another, season and a half. What about yourself?
I think you're probably going to end the season. To be
you
brutally
think?
honest with you, Billy, I
Yeah,
don't
okay.
think we're going to keep him any further than that. I think everybody's going to be hovering your Brightons, your Brentfords, so that with them kind of clubs, West Ham, Aston Villa, maybe no Villas, but I think it's going to be bits coming in the summer for what I think, in my own personal opinion. He's a diamond in the rough just now, and he's the only person that can make you kind of get off your seat, and I genuinely look forward to seeing him play football. I think he plays it with a smile on his face. He's got a wee bit of the unexpected about him in terms of, like he says, about the overhead kick. He took his goal very well as well. After the manager's public criticism of him midweek about him not being between the posts. Well, it was between the posts today, and he got his goal.
And Andrew, another cutback.
It was a good cutback as well. Cheney did a good bit of work, and then Diamande just cut it. And I think what's brilliant is you always know Igaman's always getting there, because even though he's got a defender right up his backside, he's definitely getting there on a first-time finish. Absolutely brilliant.
Yep. So Cheney doubles the lead in the 20th minute. Andrew, much to say about that goal?
It was a decent finish. It was a great ball from Danilo. I thought might have been offside, first of all, just because of the timing. But no, it was fantastically timed, which again is rare for us. I think if Dessers was up top there, I think it would have definitely been offside. But it was a great through ball from Danilo, a great finish from Czerny, and Czerny's definitely getting better with the one-on-ones. I think especially after the Malmo game and obviously the Lyon game, I think he's turning it. His numbers he's starting to turn numbers like Ryan Kent in the first season he was with us, an actual winger that's producing stuff for us. And the sad reality is we don't have an agreed loan to buy deal or anything in place. So it's going to be hard to keep a hold of him. I think he's in absolutely fantastic form, and I know Wolfsburg won't probably utilize him. I think it's too far gone from there, but I hope we can get a hold of him, but he's probably likely going to go somewhere else, possibly just because of the funds involved. But he's been so vital to us, Czerny. He's been absolutely fantastic, and he was very good today on the wing and took his goal very well.
There was criticism from the Dundee game, Scotty, because he did take his goal well that day, but he didn't really involve himself much in the match. But he was a bit more involved today.
It definitely was. He's probably one of your only threats you've got going forward, depending on who's in that forward line, into Billy. It's Hadji's kind of sparse at times, comes up with moments of quality, wee glimpses of this and glimpses of that. Danilo in a 10, which I've already said, but Badrami, when he comes in at 10, he's not really showing up for 3.5 million. So Czerny is doing it on a consistent basis. I think he's maybe our top scorer with 12 or 13 goals or something like that now.
I think it's 12. Him and Igaman not on 12. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong, but I think I'm not sure about what the league stats say, but
Cheney's got 9 in league games. This is play 20, got 9. Sorry, this is across. No, sorry, this is in total of the Scottish Premiership. Yeah, he's our top goal scorer, sitting joint third. Czerny is on 9 goals. Igman's on 8.
So that's a decent return in itself. You know what I mean? For a lone player, he's definitely been the signing of the summer for me in terms of, I know Igaman's got potential and all this kind of stuff, but I think in terms of impact and genuine quality, I think Czerny's probably above everybody else that's signed.
What I did like about his finish was he didn't go round the keeper. He put it to the keeper's side before, the keeper had a chance to kind of interfere with the play, Andrew. A bit of a weird, I don't think I've ever seen a goal like this before for Diamande to score against St Johnstone, which he seems to like to do. St Johnstone centre half heads it, thinks he's clearing it, but just puts it straight into Diamandi's path, who has an easy finish. Well, easy for me to say, I suppose, but I'll take it.
Do you know what? We don't generally get that type of luck, do we? And of course, it would be a game we're already 2-0 up in as well. But yeah, the ball looked like it was going out of play, to be fair. There was no danger from it. Defender's thrown himself at it, kind of just hit it up in the air, and Diamandi's there. Yeah, you don't see Diamandi score too many headers, and he will take that one. And to put us 3-0 up at that point of the game was absolutely fantastic to see. 25 minutes in, we've moaned so much this season that we just don't take games by the scruff of the neck. Frustratingly, we've done it here, but if this game was away, we probably would be a 1-0 down for about 50 minutes at least. But no, fair play to him. Absolutely fantastic finish, and we're pouncing on mistakes, which is something we don't do enough of.
And Scotty, once this goes in, where do you see the game going from this point on? You sitting thinking we're going to get another 2 or 3 or even more?
I'm thinking bare minimum 5-0. And I'm already get PC in the back of my head going, well, I gave you Ross County and I've gave you a result against St Johnstone. These post-match presser, I was genuinely expecting 4 or 5. You should. I don't know why we're taking my foot off the gas, Billy. That's the worrying part for me. See, if we played like that for 60 to 75 minutes of a game, but most games would be finished, and you can bring on your young boys just like they did with Leon King today, bring them on at right back. To give them a bit of match experience and give us a wee bit of hope that there's something else. But aye, it's as what it is. It should have been 4 or 5 for me, but this team takes their foot off the gas as usual.
Andrew, a game of 2 halves, I suppose, because really, I quite enjoyed the first half as a whole. I felt we still did threaten even after the third goal went in, but a wee bit wasteful. And I would say pick out a couple of players, just not really for the performance today, but just to contrast it to the performance in the Dundee game. I wasn't impressed with Yilmaz the other day there, but he had an all right game today, I felt.
I think he definitely did. He was pressing up quite high at times and helping with balls into the box. I think that the team in general were linked together quite well, building from the back, with some fast transitions. I guess to be expected a little bit. St Johnstone are one of the worst bottom of the league teams I've seen in a long time. There's a massive gap between them and Hearts, and they just keep losing and losing and losing. So we'd have to, I know we're in a bad shape at the minute, but I think we'd have to be in a really bad shape not to take anything from today. But yeah, no, it was good to see. It'll do Yilmaz's confidence good. I think Nsiala as well. I know he didn't have a phenomenal game, but I think he's starting to grow into that role a little bit more. Obviously still a little bit raw, but yeah, no, fair play from Yilmaz. He's had a bit of criticism. He's been a bit of a seesaw player over the past few months. So no, it's good to see him putting in a shift today.
Comments there that he's about to get injured now. He's had too many games in a row. Scotty, I want to touch on Nsiala as well, because I thought he did okay today. We're severely lacking a spine of physical players. Again, we can talk about their goal. It's Hadji that's really kind of taken, not taking out the game. He just kind of falls down on the ground under the pressure. We need stronger than that, but I thought Nsiala did okay.
He did. He definitely did. He did another 6, 7 out of 10 performance, which isn't bad for considering where the defence is just now. I thought boy did okay. He brings a balance to the left side of the defence. Funnily enough, given you've got left footers throughout the whole back line just now, it does bring you a physicality, an element of it as well. He's got that height. He's decent enough with the ball at his feet. Thought first half he was very good at playing his way out of danger. I think there was once or twice I seen him, Kelly, and Proper doing I think Nsiala had the ball at left back and he played it back to Kelly, took the ball back again, and they kind of worked it like a triangle. Rangers were able to play out of defence. So he's decent enough with the ball at his feet. So I would just keep playing him, Billy. I don't see the need to bring in when a defender comes back, drop Proper. Yes, I don't see need in terms of where this team are just now. Why drop Nsiala when he's doing all right? You know what I mean? Why stop him getting game experience when he's getting pass marks just now?
just because you mentioned proper Scott, I'll stay with you. When he signed, we were told he was one of these. He was a captain. He liked to get in the faces of referees and stuff. He did a wee bit of that today. I felt he was getting involved in some of the kind of coming togethers. But how did you feel he performed all in?
I thought he'd done all right. I remember a tackle when kind of on the halfway line. He took, I think that maybe set on one of the goals. I think that was for Cherny's. The ball bobbled to Danilo after proper tackles, and Danilo kind of sends Cherny through for the second goal. I thought he'd done all right, but again, he's not consistent enough, Billy. He can't handle the physicality of the Scottish game. There's a clamour amongst the Rangers support to bring Ben Davies back. Why would you want to bring the exact same type of centre back to the club when you've already got one at the club? For me, good performance today, but could do better would be his report card.
Thankfully, mate, I don't believe we've got the option to bring Ben Davies back. But again, I could be wrong in that. But I think we do. It's a season-long loan with no recall. But Andrew, the substitutions were made. I would say none of them affected the game particularly any which way. The worry about that is that Cortez, we've spent a lot of money or put down a lot of money to buy him, and he doesn't really affect anything.
That's the sad thing. Go back nearly a year ago to that 5-0 game v Hearts where he was electric. The whole team was connecting. He scored a great goal that day. That was the last time he scored for Rangers, and sadly he had been injured. And it's a frustrating one because he has all the potential to be a decent footballer, but he's kind of going down the route of Matondo, basically. You know, player with some great ability, great skill, just can't stay fit. Obviously, he had a bit of time out at the start of the season. He wasn't performing well at the start of the season either, and it really is a shame. Average today, you know, you see Kieran Dowell coming on 87 minutes in as well.
I wasn't going to mention that.
Oh, well, yeah. And obviously other couple of players as well. I want to say they were kind of like for like substitutes in some respects, but they definitely were a downgrade. Cortez, it's a sad one. It's starting to look like it's now or never for him because we can't go through another couple of seasons, especially now that we're going to have to purchase him at the end of the season for, I believe, around 4 million. It's not a loan to buy. It's It's like a compulsory buy, which you don't see too often, which is quite a strange one. But I guess based on how we saw him last year, you could understand it at the time. But yeah, it is again another issue with recruitment. And don't get me wrong, if he suddenly hits it on, brilliant. We've got a fantastic player, but at the minute, it's not looking that way.
Yeah, Scotty, from what you've seen so far, do you think he's going to do anything for us? It's a worry we've outlaid or said we're going to buy him for the 4 million.
Cortez, I think sports science need to have a word with a manager, or vice versa. I think it just needs minutes, to be brutally honest with you, Billy.
But that's fair enough. It could be that.
Just need to give him game time before we can actually see what he's going to make this year. 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. There's been games where we've dropped points in the last couple of weeks where we could have really been doing this boy starting. Do you know what I mean? Because we all know when he's fully fit and flying that he is a decent enough player. Your front three in terms of Hadji, as I say, he's been a bit hit and a miss. He's been a wee bit sparse. So pull him out, put Cortez in. You know what I mean? Drop Cherny, give him a rest, put Cortez in. I genuinely do think there's a player in there, but I don't think he's getting the minutes that he needs to get back up to speed.
Look, I'd be remiss not to bring up the Union Bears protest. They all left on the 55th minute. I was more surprised that more people didn't leave because the feeling around the club at the moment is quite apathetic and quite angry as well.
Right.
Scotty, what did you make of the gesture? Were you behind it, and would you have left if you were there yourself?
I probably want to keep my opinion to myself on that if I'm going to be honest
Fair
with you,
enough.
Billy. But what I will say is, I think there needs to be a level of respect to everybody that's at the game. They've paid their money. It's their choice where they want to stay or where they want to go. But that was the day was the beginning of something for me. It's a sign of things to come. I don't think many people backed the protest, but I think if results and things don't change, in fact, I think the writing's already in the wall for a manager. We've said it often enough, but until change happens, I think it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. I don't think it's going to get any better. Personally, would I left in 55 minutes? I just wouldn't have went today, which I didn't. I didn't go. That's the way I would have, because I'm so downbeat at watching Rangers just now, where Like even watching on the telly's a drag. Never mind trailing myself away up for Inverclyde away up to Ibrox. To sit and leave at 55 minutes. Do you know what I mean? It's just nah, it's not for me. I don't know, but where we even go for here, if I'm being honest with you, Billy, in terms of as a club and how you change things, and because everybody's so done with a manager that there's no way back now. Could have won 5-6-7 nil. Any feeling would have been the same. It was an odd atmosphere. I've never seen Ibrox like the way it was.
Andrew, there was certainly a lot of spaces that, as Scott is saying, folk didn't go. So never mind leaving on the 55th minute, they were choosing not to go in the first place, judging by what I've seen on the TV. You think Scotty's right that this is going to, whether you agree with the protest or not, certainly I wouldn't have judged anyone for doing it or not doing it. But do you think things are going to go from kind of bad to worse here when it comes to these kind of protests?
It's hard to tell at the minute. If you gauged it all on social media, it would appear that everyone would have left at 55 minutes today based on all I've seen. And it was a bit of a surprise when it was just mainly the UB, a few others. You could see some video from outside the stadium of other people leaving as well, but it wasn't that many, and there was booing. The fact that there was booing as well, I think, shows there's a bit of a split in the support. Now, personally, we've seen this story before. Clement, I don't think at this stage has lost the dressing room, but that is the next stage. Once that happens, he's already started to chuck the odd player under the bus. His comments about Eggman last week. He is on a sugary peg, a very sugary peg at the minute. And I don't know if there's the side to it where some of the support almost feel now that it's just almost not blind to it, but just numb to it. The results and everything coming in now. We've already resounded ourselves to we'll probably finish second. I say probably because knowing us, we'd probably be scrapping it out for fourth. Our away record is terrible, rebuild or not. It really is. However, we are in a situation now where we just cannot afford to purchase players to make big worthwhile changes. And we've seen us change manager time and time again in recent years. We've only had about 19 managers in our history, and we've already gone through probably about 5 of them in recent history. It'll be the same cycle, and I think we all know it'll be the same cycle as well. But there would be differences, I think, with it. I'm going into another thing entirely, but obviously it is a sugary peg, and things could get more toxic than what they are now. And I think the fans are very split at the minute. And obviously, I won't go into some of the rumours about some of the stories today, but some of the stories I've heard coming out the stadium are quite shocking, actually, and surprising. But yeah, it never ends well from here.
No. Well, I'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you very much. What I will do is trouble you for your man of the match. Andrew, yourself?
Man of the match, I'd say Czerny, I would say. I think he took his goal well, and he's given us that valuable output. Yeah, I'll go for Czerny, I think.
Cheers. Well, thanks for coming on, Andrew. Scotty, yourself?
Eggman for me.
Eggman, I'm Eggman as well. I think he's, I say the Scotty's saying the diamond in the rough or the shining light at the moment. So, look, we've got a game against Aberdeen later on in the week. We'll have pods relating to that and all things Rangers. So please like and subscribe, and remember, every night is the Rangers Journal night. Good night.